To tell you the truth, some Christian pastors, Thais, and non-Thais have blocked me and unfriended me on Facebook. Echoing back to me, Ray, some people say what you're doing is not Christian, and the only way is to work with Christians and to convert them. Christians are good in protecting crusades. No, we should not forget to. Inquisition, we should not forget to. Colonialism, I ended up being Buddhist. Okay, hi Hans, my name is Ray. I am, that's it. My identity is myself. Yeah, sorry. As far as I know, John Butt, who graduated from Harvard Divinity School, set up the Institute of Religion, Culture, and Peace. Some of the early Christian missionaries have left some seed money, capital, to fund the projects of the Institute of Religion, Culture, and Peace. Last semester, since I was also an advisory board member of the Asia Working Group of the Network of Religious and Traditional Peacemakers of the Finch Church Aid, I proposed a project, storytelling, and we also had an interfaith pilgrimage, the first walking pilgrimage, where community members got involved. We also listened to people who are LGBT, people who have disabilities, people with disabilities, women of faith, 3 Theravada Buddhist monks. And so we were lucky that Finch Church Aid, the Mennonite Central Committee, and right now, I just spoke 2 days ago with the Quakers, American Friends Service Corps. They said they want to help us again. During the military coup in Myanmar, they supported all of our Myanmar students while they were packing and leaving Myanmar. I think whatever money they had left, they gave to us, which we transferred to all of the students to help them during the transition, during the coup. And right now, we were able to discuss a project, a research project, possibly on migrants, people on the move, people from Myanmar, people in Mesot, labor migration, and so on and so forth. So that will be held here with the Quakers. So these are some funding we get from, by chance, religious groups. It's good that the Christian partners were open-minded because we told them that our focus, which is different from all peace studies programs in Thailand. In Prince of Songkla, they focus on Buddhist-Muslim relations. In Bangkok, they focus on Bangkok politics, the peace program, human rights and peace. In the north, where Chiang Mai and Phayap is situated, we say we have our own unique characteristics, and we focus on religion, culture, and peace. Since we have people who are, Phayap is Christian, but the community is primarily Buddhist, and then we have ethnic communities, many are also practicing indigenous or traditional religions. So we have to cater to the needs of the local people. And culturally, if Southern Thailand, we have Muslim Malays and Thai Buddhists. Here in the north, we have people of different ethnic groups. What is officially called hill tribes, but internationally we call them indigenous people. So we also respond to the needs of people in Mesot, people who are displaced, refugees, stateless people, and internally displaced people from Myanmar as well. So we insist on our program, and none of the Christian partners have voiced their opposition. They were very open to what we're doing.
That's very Christian, I must say. No?
Indeed. Yeah.
Maybe they read the Bible.
It's wonderful that we all think alike, that we're all love one another. Yeah. To tell you the truth, some Christian pastors, Thais, and non-Thais have blocked me and unfriended me on Facebook. So to me, it's okay, but other people feel insulted. I understand. Some people are, how shall I put it, very close-minded, only Christians for Christians. And some even I heard from other people echoing back to me, Ray, some people say what you're doing is not Christian, and the only way is to work with Christians and to convert them. So I hear the feedback back to me. So I'm pretty sure that there's backlash, but I think I'm doing what is very Christian. Yeah, so I continue to do what I'm doing, responding to the needs of the time and of the context where I live right now, right here.
Can you tell us a little bit maybe about your point of view of spirituality, how you came to it?
My father he passed away, Buddhist, Mahayana Buddhist, Taoist, and Confucian. I grew up Confucian, Taoist, and Mahayana Buddhist. My mom was Roman Catholic. I was baptized Roman Catholic, but also she practices traditional religion, as most Filipino Roman Catholics are. So every Sunday, we would go to the church as a family, and then after going to the church, you go to the Buddhist temple. And I enjoy going to the Buddhist temple because in Mahayana Buddhism, the temples serve vegan food, and they were really delicious. So if only for the food, I enjoy going to the temple. And I asked my parents, my father, why do you go to the church? And I asked my mom, why do you go to the temple? And they say there's nothing wrong with going to each other's places of worship. We all want to do good, be good, to serve God and serve people. So I grew up in that context, and I was a minority, so I know how it's like to be minority. My mother came from Central Philippines, which is minority, but I live in Metro Manila, which is the dominant culture, and my mom speaks different language. My father was a minority among the Chinese Filipinos. He was from Fuzhou, the capital Fujian. All of my classmates, except one or two, speak Cantonese. Majority speak Fujian. So I learned Fujian because all of my classmates did that. I was born raised in Chinatown. Went to a Chinese school, and we learned Mandarin and English and everything else. So I know how it's like to be a minority, and I know how different people of minority religions feel. And I grew up going to the church every Sunday. I lost my appetite for going to church because it was very ritualistic. In the Roman Catholic Church, you stand, you sit, you kneel down, you stand, you sit, you kneel down, you memorize the prayers. But finally, to make a long story short, I met some Protestant groups when I was doing fact-finding mission in pineapple plantation. I was with a Catholic group, volunteer work in the southern Philippines. And the Protestant group, we met, they were doing their fact-finding mission to human rights, the conditions of the pineapple workers. We also went to the banana plantation and said, hi, I'm this and that. I said, hi, I'm Ray with the Catholic volunteer group. Oh, nice to meet you. And then we asked each other's background, say, oh, why don't you come to our church, the Protestant church? And then I joined them. They asked me to volunteer with them to doing human rights work. So we would go to the peasant community, fisherfolk community, indigenous community. And it rekindled my spirituality because I felt among at least the Protestant people was working with, they all together prepared the service. They all were involved with the people who are suffering. It made me feel like I think this had made my feeling to God even stronger because God is in the midst of the people where the people are suffering. So it rekindled my spirituality with the Protestant churches. However, I work with both the Protestant and Catholic, but I felt more spiritual with the Protestant churches. I'm still a Catholic because I was baptized. The Pope has not excommunicated me. But I'm very closely related with, at least in the Philippines, United Methodist Church. Even with the United Methodist Church in the US, in the Philippines, up to today, I'm very much connected because they are very active with the oppressed, the poor, the exploited, the suffering. I think there are two basic ways to approach interfaith work. One is, this is what I believe in myself, is I keep to my faith, but I open myself to learn about other people, and then I respect other people's views. Of course, there are issues which are very difficult. Let's say between Christians and Muslim. Muslim have Tawhid. God is, you cannot, it's abstract. You cannot humanize. There's only one God. That's Tawhid. For Christians, you have Trinity. It's very difficult to argue and discuss with the Muslim about Trinity and Tawhid. Because for Christians, yeah, it's one. But they say, but your Trinity, how can that be one? So to me, it's mutual respect. We keep it that way. But I think the other approach is we all have different paths. I think this is what Pope Francis said, but all of us lead to the same truth. So I maybe I'm paraphrasing Pope Francis wrongly said, you can have Hinduism with many gods, but that is the human representation to make it understandable to the common people that they're all many. And for Christianity, you have Jesus, for example, but all of us lead to the same truth. That's one approach. Like, okay, we all have different paths going to one truth. But to me is, I keep to my faith, which is Christianity in essence, but I work with the Catholic and the Protestant. And I respect you, and we work together despite our differences. So those are two major paths, and my path is I still strongly believe I'm Christian. I don't give up. Other people give up and say we're all one and the same. We all go to the same place. Yeah. And I also believe, and I practice this, when I do interfaith work, I always include agnostics and atheists. It's part of the dialogue and working together. In fact, when we had the first prayer, somebody raised a hand. I said, please offer your intentions. I cannot say prayer because they don't believe in prayer. So that person gave his intentions. Because I say it's an alphabetical order. We go agnostic, atheist, down the line, Buddhist, Christian, and Sikhism. Ecumenism, which is all Christians, whether you're Eastern Orthodox, Oriental Orthodox, Roman Catholic, or Protestant, started to come together like in the 1900s with the start of the YMCA, for example, Young Men Christians Association. And then with the Red Cross says they are not Christian, but the cross is Christian. And Pictet, Jean Pictet, who is very important in the setting up of the Red Cross in Switzerland, was also the person who played the key role in the YMCA. So the unity of the church, it's in the Bible, may all be one. It's still the slogan of the Christian Conference of Asia, World Council of Churches, the YMCA, the Student Christian Movement, that all may be one. So ecumenism is 1900s. But it was after 9/11 that interfaith movement had really blossomed, if you put it that way. There was a trigger for we need to sit down and work together. There are many levels and stages of interfaith work. One is let's all gather together, listen to one another. It could be very aggressive first. Let's listen what you have to offer. Initially, it has to be open and open mind. And then later it could be once we are closer and friends, maybe we can open up and say, we are now ready to debate about Tawhid and Trinity. That's when you're already friends. You cannot start, if you start with that, you're not creating friends. That should be discussion among friends. And then later, it should not only be talking, coming to conferences, sit down, give a certificate, and go home, take picture. It should be working together, maybe eating food of each other, and we realize, oops, Why did I offer pork? I didn't know that Muslims or Jews don't eat pork. Then we learned about each other. And then there are people who are vegan and vegetarian. I went through that. I was prepared some party for people. I said, okay, you don't eat pork, I have beef. But I have friends who are Hindu, like, oh my goodness, I did not think of that. They will not eat beef. So we learn by doing things together, eating together, having fun together. And then after you have fun, maybe if there are problems like in Chiang Mai during the COVID time, the Sikh leader here, Mr. Frank, he said, we will have a food pantry, food donation for people during because many people lost jobs, including migrant workers and people from Myanmar. So he set up a place. Like I don't know how often it was, but I bought food. I asked my Thai friends, two Thai friends, can you help me cook? They were happy. I didn't pay them anything. So one time we prepared like 250, 300 packed lunch of rice, meat, and egg. My friends, they did not sleep at night. I prepared and bought the food, but they didn't sleep. And we offered that to food distribution. Other people, like the Hindu temple, they had fresh vegetable. They brought their produce and gave the vegetables out. Uh, and then another time, I asked my Thai friends to cook noodles. I said, to be different, can we have noodles this time? And then about 300 packs also. I slept, they didn't. So I am thankful to my two Thai friends. They cooked the dishes and they came along to donate food. And some people say, why do you do this? I say, I think it's something we should do. You don't question it. But some Buddhists say, oh, some people want to tag along, the friend of my friend. I say, why don't you do? Because in Buddhism, you get merit if you offer food. So people have different intentions. To me, it's like it's human. No, I have something to offer. Whatever little I can do, I offer. And then, excuse me, other people offered sacks of rice. So some people gave kilos of sugar. Whatever you can give, you give. So this was very interfaith. The sick person invited the Hindu temple, me, and others, and Buddhists. It was a very interfaith. It was not planned. So you do social justice work together. So it's higher level, from interfaith talk, taking pictures, smiling, casual talk, difficult questions. Then when you do social justice work together, it's even higher level. And then among the interfaith groups in Chiang Mai, since I'm foreigner, I'm not part of it, there's a formal government body interfaith group. And the people we meet, they're all, not many of them are part of this official Chiang Mai province, Chiang Mai city interfaith council.
Chiang Mai is somehow a little bit special because when I look at the city of Chiang Mai, I see all these different nationalities, not only the tourist community, but
Yeah.
we have Chinese, we have Christian, you have people from Vietnam, from China, from Laos, from Myanmar, and they all in a melting pot. But it's a very peaceful community.
I asked some noted monks here, I say, why do I see Kuan Yin, the goddess of mercy in Theravada temple? Why do I see a Ganesh? And they gave me a very practical answer. They said, we know it's not Theravada. We only pray, and recite the mantras, sutras of Buddha. But the donors want to see a Ganesh. So they do what the donors want. The donors want to see a Kuan Yin. So I got a practical answer. The money comes with the donors, and they mix Chinese Buddhism with Hinduism, with Thai Buddhism. But anyway, in Thailand, Hinduism, Brahmanism, the time of the string is Brahmanism, specific part of Hinduism. They mix them all historically anyway. But because of many Chinese migrants who came earlier, they also mixed the Kuan Yin and into the, I don't know, you see about 99% of our students are from Myanmar. There is a divide between Buddhists and the Muslims to begin with. That's one big issue. And then many of the Myanmar people who come here are Christian, I think, but the majority are Buddhists. So, and they have their own biases. There's the Buddhist supremacy, and then there's the downplaying and the making invisible or criticizing Islam. And then the Christians are minoritized. So we are responding to the needs of our students. For many, knowing about the other religion is just like it doesn't exist. But in their society, there's big problem. No, the Rohingya versus the Rakhine and the ultra-nationalist militant Buddhist monks that exist. So it's very necessary for them to know the other religions. So I think the most important ones are those that we have to reach out if we are catering to the needs of our students. Christian, Buddhist, Theravada Buddhist, and Islam. So we try to do all these things so that they understand each other. It might be superficial, but for others, they are scared to even enter the place of worship of the other religion. So it's a first step of understanding. Fear is very natural and human. So they have to get out of the fear. That's basic instinct. And then learn and understand the other culture. And then that will slowly erode all of the biases, which is critical. And so to respond to their needs, we do this interfaith work. It's not easy, and we still hear some biases from their own mouth coming. Oh, you know why the Buddhists are doing this to them. So we still hear those biases. It's slow effort at learning, and sometimes the answer will come from among their peers. Other students would say, "No, but listen, you call them this and that, but don't you know that they are this and that?" So they have a dialogue among themselves. That's very critical for their mutual learning. And sometimes I'm just there and listening to them, arguing, discussing, and learning from each other. And then we also have some things which have to be unlearned. We found out that some religions were insulted Christians to see a female pastor. They say, "Why did we come here?" They were so shocked and angry. I give an orientation. We're here to learn, not to critique. If we don't know, we ask questions. We don't say they are wrong. Because already some people were angry. Why are there female pastors? And why do we have to come here? We have to open the minds of people like that's their practice. But it's a good sign because among our students they say, yeah, we need that. Because in our ethnic group, we're always saying women should have leadership role, but we don't have. Look, you can have. This is so there's a rich dialogue by seeing counterexample, and people were opposed to it, and people are saying, look, it can be done. We should do it. So in short, yes, it's necessary to have interfaith dialogue because they actually learn and see what's going on, and they engage in discussion and debate, and people grow by learning from each other.
There's a tendency, like especially in Christianity, there's the one talking, and then there's everyone shutting up and behaving nicely. So, but there's a need that we understand everyone has a voice, even those who do not know enough, those who have certain beliefs, those who defend certain ways of life. They have to speak out so we can learn from each other. If we don't talk, then we let everything be like it is.
So
there's
no
no
change.
evolution, right? No change.
Right. Aside from the classroom, the laboratory, which is going out and learn, is equally important. That's where they see how things are, and then they learn and question, like, why are things the way they are? Why can't we change? So the two go together. One, you learn theories and concepts. The other one, you see things as they exist, or what's wrong with it, what's right with it. Maybe we can learn from each other. Yeah. In fact, we have students who want to study the Bible. And for example, children's rights. I say, be careful. You say you want to look at children's rights from the Bible, but Bible evolution has changed a lot. You cannot just say Bibles for children's rights. In the Torah, in the Pentateuch, killing of babies was normal. That's why Moses has to be set free and put in a basket along the river. And then the time of Jesus, they were killing babies too. That's why Jesus had to flee to Egypt. I say, so don't generalize that children's rights is very Christian. I say, you have to show the evolution, the revolution in thinking and action. And Jesus was with and he even said to the children, to the adults, it's easier for a camel to enter the eye of a needle than for rich men to enter the kingdom of God. Talking to the rich people, say, Lord, I want to go to heaven. How can I go to heaven? Give up all of your earthly possession,
How much?
go follow me. Yeah, so yeah, that's what Jesus said. So I told our students, be careful when you cite, like, we are all correct. And some students even say child marriage is bad among the Muslims in Thailand. I said, be careful. Check how many states in the US allow child marriage. So instead of just talking about how bad it is among the Muslim in Thailand, we should open our eyes, like, it's not only in southern Thailand, it's not only Muslim. Christians in the US are also doing child marriage. It shocked students when they found out that we have to be more open-minded and not just see our Christian belief as the best on earth. Like, no, there are good and bad everywhere, but yeah, sure, we want to change. But tell us what you came from and why there are changes. Like Jesus said, we should be open to prostitutes, to the Samaritan, to all kinds of people, and serve and work with them, with the poor, with the blind, no, and so on. So this is part of learning to critical thinking. It's difficult, especially among Christians who go to Sunday school and just memorize a few lines, quotation, without looking at the bigger picture. So I always tell them, look at the big picture, and then, in fact, why do Christians eat pork? The Jews don't and the Muslim don't. All of them come from the same book, Leviticus. They said don't eat pork. Then explain why Christians eat pork. Because maybe in James or somewhere it was stated, anything God made is holy, you can eat. But okay, so you can. So some Christians say, why do Christians eat pork and Muslims don't? Say, we all came from the same book, but the Christians kind of exempted themselves because James said that it's okay. Yeah, so we have to a bigger picture and more depth than just saying Christians are good in children's rights, Christians are good in protecting crusades. No, we should not forget to. Inquisition, we should not forget to. Yeah.
It's easy to forget if you never knew about it.
Colonialism, yeah. Also, that's why Philippines are Catholic. It's not that. Yeah.
Jesus had a hard time to get to the Philippines, I guess.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, he has a lot of miracles
Yeah.
in the Philippines and everywhere. So
Many people are looking for happiness, and people say, well, I have to work hard and then save money, so when I retire, I'll be happy. Many people suffer, and it's okay to suffer, they say, because I'll be happy when I retire. I have my pension. Other people say, it's okay to suffer on earth because I'll be rewarded in heaven. I think Buddha had a good teaching, say, find your happiness here and now. Don't wait for whenever. It's because you don't know what's going to happen next minute, next hour, next day. So be happy, whatever it is, where you are, right here, right now. I ended up being Buddhist. But I really believe that.